Well, g'day everyone and welcome back to our channel. Welcome to our second year on the road and welcome to 2024.
Happy New Year everyone. This year we've got some big plans in store. Steve, let us know what we've got in store.
This year we're going to take on some of Australia's most iconic drives. We're going to do the Great Ocean Road and the Unadilla track onto ULARU and hopefully up into Darwin. But we can't get started until we leave Queensland. We've done 25,000 Ks in Queensland and we still haven't left. But on this episode we do as we cross the border and head to Lightning Ridge.
Woohoo!
So
finally.
Finally, all right. Go and get yourself a cold drink, get your feet up. This is going to be a good one. Hi, I'm Steve.
And I'm Alison.
We decided a couple of years ago that we'd work hard and save all of our money and start living life on our own terms.
So we bought a caravan and hit the road on a trip for two all around Australia.
So why not come and join us every week for our adventures? First campsite for 2024. We're at the Waroo Bridge campsite, which is on the Bollon River. It's a freebie and you've got to be fully self-sufficient. We're the only ones here at the moment and we think we're going to be because it's about 36, 37 degrees and the flies are getting very, very friendly. So
it's not summer without the flies.
Either way, we should get the site to ourselves, we think, for the night. We might stay another day. We'll just see how we go tonight with the mozzies once they come in. We did get a tip yesterday in Glenmorgan that there might be a few midges around after dark. But anyway.
Yeah, they've had a bit of rain here, so not uncommon to have those things.
Not at all. But I'll tell you what, for a first campsite, she's an absolute ripper. I'll throw the drone up and give you a bit of a look around.
It's pretty good.
It's really good. Bollon River, just have a quick pan around here, check that out. Ali's heading in to do a little bit of work. We've got Starling set up and booming in. Alright, so plan for today, Alison's going to do a little bit of work. I'll get out the fire pit and we'll get a bit of a barbecue happening a little bit later on, cook a few steaks on that. A little bit of editing to do and just kick back and relax. Should be a really good afternoon. Well, we thought tonight we'd have a couple of steaks out on the open fire. I've got a fire pit, I'll set that up in a second and give you a look at what it looks like. The other thing that we use when we come away is a chainsaw, and the chainsaw that we use, it's nothing expensive, it's just one of those Azito ones that you get from Bunnings. The reason that we got this is simply because the skins fit the batteries that we bought. So we've got the drills and we've got this, we've also got the blower, it all works well. You can get it all less for, geez, I think the chainsaw was less than $100. For whatever it was a pretty good deal. And for the type of timber we need to cut up with the chainsaw, it works perfectly fine for us. So I'll get a bit of timber cut up, we'll get about getting the barbecue lit. The next thing is our barbecue pit, and this is it here. It comes in this black carry bag. Now, this is a King's barbecue pit, and it's the only piece of King's gear that we own. And I've got to say, it's absolutely bloody fantastic. It works perfectly. I paid, I think, about $140 for it, or somewhere around there, and that was with the cooktop on top of it, because they do run some specials from time to time. I can't tell the difference between this and some of the more known brands who charge you 2 and 3 and even 4 times the price for what I think is exactly the same thing. Inside the bag you get a few things. First of all, you get a base plate that just comes with these clips on top, but that's to hold your fire pit down. That's your fire pit just here, and I'll show you how to settle this up in a second. This bloke here is your grill that goes inside. That's just to hold your coals up, so you get that airflow in underneath. And just on the other side here, there's just the support for the cooktop, and there's the cooktop right there. So she's pretty good. Let's get her set up. All right, so with the base plate, all you do is just make sure all your clips are open. Grab your fire pit and open it up. And just sit it inside, and you just got to get it to fall inside the grooves. And once you've got all four in, just do up your clips. A lot of places that we've been to lately, they won't let you have a fire because you can't keep your fire off the ground. So putting one of these into your gear, it really helps if you don't want to have an open fire on the ground, or you can't have an open fire on the ground. Particularly some of the camps that we've stayed at where they want to keep their grass nice. We hate seeing burnt patches everywhere. Okay, so your coals plate in, and then on top of that, it's just the adjustable height cooktop. I set it to low initially while I'm starting up the fire, and then over the top of that, a little bit later on, we get ready to cook. Grill plate goes on top. And that's it, pretty simple. Takes a couple of minutes to set up. There it is when it's set up. It burns. It's an absolute ripper. And as I said before, it's King's gear, and I always shit can King's gear when we've had it in the past, but this one here is particularly good. Well, I've lit the fire outside, and you can see it burning away out there. We're going to let that burn down to some coals. But in the meantime, I thought while that's happening, I'll just show you how we prep our steak for the barbecue and just the veg we're going to have with it tonight. Alright, first things first, if you haven't got one of these fly nets inside your caravan, you're absolutely missing out. I don't know where you buy them from, but they're cheap as chips. We only carry the one. It fits around a plate. The other things we need to do, but it certainly keeps the flies if we think we're trying to defrost it, so we always use that, and they're easy to store that way. Okay, well, we showed you before, we cryo back all of our meat. This is defrosted. I'll just open him up. Alright, what I normally do when we're going to have steak for dinner, probably about half an hour or so, because that's been defrosting at room temperature now for about an hour or so. Let's get some hand towel and just lay some out onto the board. And then I take the steak and just lay it on top. It just dries it out a little bit, gets all that moisture and stuff out of it, because I want it a little bit drier before I put it onto the barbecue. Just fold that across, give it a press, let it sit there for a couple of minutes. So we'll come back to that in a second. In the meantime, I'll show you the veg that we're going to have. Okay, so our veg for tonight, we're going to have a little bit of zucchini, a little bit of capsicum, and some broccolini all going onto the barbecue, and I'll do that as soon as we've cooked the steak while the steak rests. But first up, with the zouk, normally what I do is just cut it in half. And we just cut it into just some strips that are good to go onto the barbecue, and I'll set those aside. Broccolini is really easy to prepare. We don't normally eat the whole bunch straight away. We halve it up and just eat it over 2 meals. I always cut off the ends a little bit. I don't know why I do that. Just been my thing. Put those to one side. Broccolini's done. It's pretty simple. And then just one of the cheeks of the capsicum. Cut it in half. All good. All of the veg into a bowl. A couple of squirts of olive oil. These Decor olive oil sprays, these are fantastic. They cost you about 15 bucks at Woolies, I think, but you can get them a little bit cheaper when they go on special. But just pour your olive oil in, they're great. They don't spill. We've had ours in the van now for over 12 months, and it works really well. And then I just put in like half a teaspoon of just the minced garlic that you buy at the supermarket. Give it all a toss. That seems to coat it quite well, so you just toss it until everything seems coated. If you want a little bit more oil in there, that's fine. Done. So there's tonight's veg done. Let's do the meat. Alright, back to our steaks. So they've been sitting over there for about 10 minutes now, just with the paper over the top. Just pull the paper away. All I do is give them a bit of a squirt with some olive oil, a little bit of salt just to season. Ali doesn't like pepper on a steak, but I do, so I'll put pepper on one, and then all I've got to do is remember which one's mine. Alright, well, the fire's died down to some coals here. It's going to spray a bit of olive on there. Just be careful, you do get a bit of splashback. That's alright. And then I'm throwing a couple of steaks. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but we really enjoy a sirloin steak. It's just got less fat content in it for us, which is what we like. We get them from the King Street Butcher in Redcliffe. So if you're in Redcliffe, drop in, do yourself a favour, because I tell you what, they are really, really good. 150 bucks, we buy the whole sirloin. He butchers it up into steaks for us, 3/4 of an inch wide. And I think we got 13 steaks out of the last one for 150 bucks. So that was pretty good value. All come recommended from Curtis at Sparky's on the Loose. So yeah, really, really good. Alrighty, so we'll get these buggers cooked and then we'll throw the veg on. Alright, next up, this is our veg that we had. Remember, we tossed it in some garlic, a little bit of oil. So just throw that on. Just check the heat of your plate when you throw it on. You don't want to burn them. We're going to get a nice char or blister up these capsicums. They'll be quite nice. Excuse us some heat in that fire. I can feel it on my hands. Alright. The rest of our zucchini. A bit more broccolini. Oh, one more bit of zucchini. All good. The rest of the garlic. We're on. That'll be really nice. Hungry up?
I'm very hungry, and it makes me, the smell makes me even hungrier.
It smells really good.
Smells very good.
Yeah, that's great. We're just discussing, we've got a massive fly problem going on here at the moment. We're going to retreat to the van for dinner, but I'll get Ali to spin the camera around. We're going to have a great sunset here this afternoon. What a beautiful place.
It is beautiful.
What I love about it most is that sunset, and it's free. And we're the only ones here.
Even better.
Head out west, you're going to love it. Alright, so our steak's rested just nicely. It's probably rested for about the time that we cooked it for while we cooked the vegetables. That's my bit because it's got the pepper on it. There's Alison's bit because it doesn't have the pepper on it. Alright, just a bit of veg. Hey Al, what do you think of that?
I really enjoyed my meat. I really enjoy it being cooked on the open fire. It just gives it a different flavour, and the veggies were really yummy as well.
They were, yeah, they were. It was good quality meat, wasn't it? It
was very good quality meat. So yes, go visit your local butcher. I think you'll be in for a nice treat. Exactly.
Well, good morning. We've woken up to a beautiful morning. Coffee, share it with a few cows. I'll give you a flip round and show you. So they've all come down to the river for a bit of a drink this morning. There's a couple more down there. There's certainly the bush alarm clock today when they all started mooing at about 5 o'clock this morning. But anyway, plan for today. We're going to spend the night here. We're going to pack up. We're going to keep heading towards Cunnamulla. We'll probably go about halfway today. There's a free camp in Bollon, so we might stop in there, spend the night, and then we'll head out to Cunnamulla. We're going to spend a few days before we point south and finally cross the border and go into New South Wales.
Okay, we're just coming into Bollon. If you've watched some of our earlier episodes, you know that we've been and stayed here before, but we decided we'd do an overnighter. It's a great little campground here on Waroo Creek. We'll give you another look around, particularly for people who haven't seen our channel before. But Bollon's a nice little town out here in central Queensland. There's not too much to do, but it's a great little pub, and there's a bit of a creek here on Waroo Creek. We can go fishing and do all those sorts of things. It's very nice.
Last time we were here, they were updating the facilities, and I believe they've completed that.
They were, yeah.
Like the toilet block and shower block, so pretty cool. Oh, wow.
Here's the weird. Now, this wasn't flowing last time we were here.
No, it's lots of water. Something we have noticed since we've been travelling. It's very green in the areas that weren't green before.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's nice to see they got a bit of rain.
So here's the main street of Bollon. We'll get the camera out later on, go for a bit of a walk around and show you.
In 300 metres, turn right onto William Street.
Okay, so Waroo
Turn right
Creek.
onto William Street, then you will arrive at your destination.
It's a donation camp. It's not a bad one. You can get fresh water down here, and it's got a dump point. It's quite a nice spot. One of the unique things about the Bollon campground is it's set right on the side of the town cemetery.
Yeah, it was quite good to. Interesting. We went and had a look.
You get to spend the night with a couple of former locals. It's quite nice.
The geese and the rooster's still here.
This is the maiden voyage for the yabby pots. These yabby pots that we got them from BCF. They're about $15 each. They're pretty good value. In fact, they were 2 for $20. But what's good about these ones, they're eco-friendly, so they won't trap a platypus or a turtle and those sorts of things. You'll just get the yabby. I'm not sure how well they'll work, but we'll throw them in. We'll let them soak for, 5 or 6 hours and see how they go. All right, so we'll throw her in, see how she goes. We've got the potato in there, what was it? Now or never. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, that's where I got it from. So, well, Chuck, have you ever had yabbies before, El?
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
Well, if we get lucky and we catch them, you'll know. Geez, that's a lot deeper than I thought it was going to be.
It's a lot more water in it since we were here last.
Yeah, it is. All right, we'll leave them soak till about dinner time. We'll see how we go. Something new from the last time we were here. They've now built their toilets and showers. So about a 250 metre walk up from the campground, depending on where you camped, of course. It could be 500. You come to this. It's directly opposite the pub. Behind the toilet and shower block here's a little skate park. Yeah, it's a really good facility. What do you reckon, Al?
Yeah, it looks good. Ladies' toilets and ladies' showers.
Oh yeah, very tidy, very clean. Very nice. Shower, oh great.
Oh, it is nice. Yeah. It's got a seat as well.
There you go.
And hooks.
So last time we were here, these were closed because they were building them, but they let you use the showgrounds. But this has come in now, so yeah, short walk up from the campground. Well worth the donation when you come here, isn't it?
It is, it is.
Yeah, good little town, good little stop between here and Cunnamulla if you're coming from St George.
And there's traps in the campground as well.
Oh, there is too. We just washed everything we own, including the mats inside the caravan because it's bore water, I think.
I think it is. It's hot and it has a bit of a smell, so I think it's bore water.
Yeah.
We didn't notice it last time.
No, last time we didn't notice it all, but we did filter it and put it straight in our tanks. We drunk it. It was all perfectly fine, and they do mark it as drinking water.
Yeah.
Which was that was good to know. And today though it was just a little bit different, but that might be just because of the heat of the day as well. But either way, we washed everything. We just unhooked and moved away from it once we were done. So it's pretty good, pretty handy.
Thank you, Bollon.
Yeah, that's the Bollon Hotel. We had dinner there last time we were here. It was very nice. Good place to come and stop and have your dinner. We're not going to stop this time and have any meals there, but certainly well worth dropping into if you come into town. Bollon's quite a small town, but it does come with a cafe, which sells a lot of things. We were here last time. We were able to get bread, milk, coffee, those sorts of supplies. The other thing that you'll find right next to the Bollon Cafe is a small laundromat, which I think is about $4 or $5 a load. So if you don't have the room or you don't have a washing machine in your caravan, you can come use this one. Yeah, $4 a load. They've got a washing machine and they've got one dryer. Bollon also has a general store, which I think you can get fuel from. I'm not sure if these pumps are at the front of this one look very, very old, but here's the general store just here. You find just down the road from the cafe. All right, well, time to check the first pot. We've got about 4 hours on them, something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
If we're going to get a yabby, this is when we're going to get it. And all I've got's me potato. All right, let's go and check the other one.
Let me just, sorry, I was standing.
All right, we'll go check the other one. There we went with that. Somehow I feel like we're not going to have any luck here, but anyway, it was worth a go. All right. And nothing. In fact, that pot collapsed. I'll have to do something to fix that next time, eh? All right, well. our free camp down in Bollon and we come up to Cunnamulla with big plans, didn't we, Al?
We did.
We were going to come and look at a few things and then a big storm started to blow in. So I'll give you a quick look. And we can see we're going to get pretty wet pretty soon. So we've decided to hitch up the van. We're down at the RV free camp at the moment, which is just on the outskirts of Cunnamulla.
It is.
And it's probably going to turn into a real bog hole, I think, once it rains.
It's muddy now,
and you're fairly well exposed out here, aren't you?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. But things in its favour. There's a dump point and a water point directly across the street. And you're only about 5 minutes out of town.
Yes, yeah, it's good. You can see what the council's trying to do. It's a good idea, so hopefully just onwards and upwards with this area for,
definitely, yeah.
for the region. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. You can definitely see the council's trying to put something in place. So we're going to head, start pointing south. We're going to point towards Burke. We're going to stop at a campsite called, I think it's called Bert's Corner or something like that, or Bert's Camp. It's about 40 k's south of here. So we'll head down there and see how we go.
Cool.
I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but we literally come out of the free camp in Cunnamulla not more than 2 minutes ago, and it started to pour down rain, and you can see the paddock over there. Well, if you can see it through the GoPro on the rain, it is already a big mud puddle. So we're pretty happy that we moved, but because it's raining so hard, we're just going to sit on the opposite side of the road near where the dump point is, because it's some hard standing, and then we're going to take off south. Geez, a lot of water fell out.
It has, yeah.
There's the storm that just blew through Cunnamulla. She was an absolute ripper. While we were there, I didn't get it, and I'm spewing I didn't, but the lightning struck the big water tower in the centre of town and just lit up like a Christmas tree. It was pretty spectacular to see. But yeah, that's it. So we started heading south. We've just come to the edge of the storm now, and it's going to keep us away from that rain, hopefully, but we're at least away from the lightning and stuff. Oh man, look at that storm. It's huge. Well, we're pulling up on the side of the road in a rest area, and just over the hill we've had a truck driver come past and he told us don't go any further because the roads are flooded. So we've come about 20 or 30 kilometres south of Cunnamulla, and doesn't look like we're going to go any further here today. So we're just talking about we need to change our plan. What are we going to do, El?
We're changing our plans.
We certainly are.
We're going to go back towards Cunnamulla, back towards in the Bollon direction.
Yeah, we'll go back to Bollon where we just come from.
And there was a free camp I think we saw on the side of the road, you were saying?
Yeah, just outside the other side of Cunnamulla heading east again. So we'll go to that one tonight if it looks good. There has been a lot of rain in the area, but if it's not flooded in that area, then we'll head that way. Then we'll head back towards Bollon and we'll take the turn to, I think it's Dirranbandy, and that brings you into the other side of Lightning Ridge, and that's where we want to go to. So I think we're just going to have to play cat and mouse with the rain for a little while. I've even considered going out to Cameron's Corner because it stops raining there in 2 days' time, but who knows what the roads will be like when we get out there. So, well, yeah, we'll just keep changing the plan and eventually we'll find somewhere that we can go and stay, and we'll get into New South Wales at some point on this adventure. We hope, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Plan 438, we're back into Cunnamulla. The roads are already flooding here, but the water's not flowing, it's just coming up over the road. So we're going to go in, find a high point in town, and just sit there, wait for the rain to end and see where we end up. We're only here like an hour ago and there was no water on the ground. Look at this. All that garage is all flooded out.
Oh my gosh. Poor things. Because you don't know what the road's done.
So this is the park where the information centre is in Cunnamulla. We were here just a little over an hour ago. It was dry as a bone. There's people out having their lunch. And then all of this rain came.
I don't think they actually have drains in their streets like we do in the city.
Yeah, I don't think they do either, but it's a bit hard for us to see at the moment. So hit us up in the comments if you know. And let us know why they don't have drains if they haven't got them, because geez, the streets flood really, really quickly.
Well, we saw that in Emerald, and they had like one drain every now and then, and the streets did the same thing. They just filled with water. It was quite weird.
Right, well, this is going to be us for a while now, I think. Well, today didn't turn out like we planned. In fact, where have we started? Where are we at?
We're back in Bollon.
We're back in bloody Bollon. We started in Bollon today. We drove all the way up to Cunnamulla. Got absolutely rained out while we were up there. And we come back, so 4-hour day. We got a loaf of bread and a carton of milk and a carton of beer.
And we almost got flooded in Cunnamulla.
We did.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
It was an adventure. So we're back to square one. So tonight, a couple of meals in the microwave. One good thing about today, even though it was overcast all day, because we've done so much driving, batteries are all up to 100%. So we'll throw a couple of meals into the microwave, cook those. We always carry a couple of spares with us just in case we get this sort of situation. We'll just replace these next time we have to get one, eh?
Yes, we will.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're going to sit down tonight because there's a huge weather system coming over the southern part of Queensland into New South Wales and Victoria. So we'll probably spend tonight, work out what we want to do next and where we want to go. We might even stay here a couple of days depending on how bad it gets. Just bunker down for a couple of days, and then once it starts to clear, we'll move off. But at the moment, we're pretty reluctant to go back up the way we come. The roads were flooded in very, very quickly. In fact, it was very, very surprising how quickly Cunnamulla went under when we were up there. So within an hour, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, and we had the truckies telling us not to take roads, so
yeah, they
must
did.
have been bad.
Even another motorist, he done a U-turn, he come up behind us, and he just said he'd been half an hour up the road, and he just thought it was too dangerous to go any further, and he asked us if we knew what it was like. We had no idea. And then when the truck driver said, don't go there, we didn't go.
No, so back to the beginning, but that's all right. We know it's good here.
It is, but the other thing we know too is that there's no caravan parks open in Cunnamulla at this time of year. Otherwise, we probably would have just stayed the night in one of the van parks, but both of them were shut. The free camp was just a flood zone by the time the rain had come through.
It was a massive pond, basically.
Yeah, and pretty much on the, what highway is it? On the Mitchell Highway. Between the two towns, or sorry, the Bollon Highway. Between the two towns, Cunnamulla and Bollon, there's a lot of quarries, but because of the rain, it's all that clayey red dirt, and it has turned into a quagmire pretty quickly. So
yes,
we decided that we'd just come all the way back to where we knew. It was only 160, 170 k's to get back here, have some dinner, sit down, rearm, recharge, and get mobile again the next couple of days.
didn't help the fuel bill, but
No, it certainly didn't help the fuel bill.
weren't. But we did check the weather, and the weather didn't indicate this sort of weather front, that's for sure. It just said rain, so...
Yeah, in fact, the prediction for Cunnamulla was only for 0 to 5 mils of rain, but you've seen in the footage that we've already showed you in this video how much water was on the ground up there. It was absolutely incredible, the amount of water that was on the ground in Cunnamulla. Alright, so we'll kick back, we'll reorganise, but at some point, we don't know when now, but we will cross that border and enter another state on our big lap of Australia.
Yes, we may have to take a detour from the detour.
We certainly will.
That's it for this week's episode. We really hope you enjoyed it. We had to make a major change to our plans, but we finally found a way into New South Wales. So come and join us next week as we head towards Lightning Ridge. If you liked today's episode, make sure you hit the like button before you leave. And if you haven't already done so, make sure you subscribe to our channel. And leave us a comment, particularly if you want to see Alison out of the caravan and standing next to me in these video closers. Anyway, you have yourself a great week, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Always working.